to At Home in the Shed.
We're back, and we're back with a vengeance.
Back with a vengeance.
What we're planning to do shorter episodes, but we're actually going to do a slot every Friday.
Yeah.
Or actually, every Saturday night, I think we'll upload it, won't we?
Yeah.
And even if you're not over, we can put an episode up that's pre-recorded, so you'll never know. You won't know if it's live.
That's it.
Even we won't.
No, not really, no. No, we'll be even sort of like surprising ourselves when it goes up.
Yeah,
it's
going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting concept. But
yeah.
I suppose...
That way we can get a few more, we can talk about a few more things in one go and then spread it out a little bit, can't we?
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if you've been watching on the 3D printing at the moment, which is one of our other things we do. Doing Cheech and Chong at the moment from Up in Smoke.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't know if any of you Cheech and Chong fans out there.
Classic.
I think everyone is.
Yeah, I think
you
so.
know,
yeah.
At our age and sometimes younger, they like them.
Yeah, they're hilarious, aren't they? I mean, all of the films, I had all the films at one point, you know, and the first one I had was Nice Dreams.
Yeah,
where they're selling ice creams and cannabis, you know.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And he's on that lift going up and down. And
yeah, he burned his arse on the light, didn't he? Yeah.
But yeah, great stuff.
My dad loved them films as well. I didn't think it'd be his sort of thing, being like drugs and stuff, but he thought it was hilarious.
I think what it is about, I mean, when you're telling me this as well about what your dad likes, is the fact that it's all so bright over there. It's all like bright, and it's Los Angeles. It's all like palm trees.
It always seems like summer all year round.
Always looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, with that said...
Yeah. Okay, should we get on to the first one?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, the first one we've got tonight was something that was requested by your colleague.
That was requested by James actually.
Yeah.
Alice, Sweet Alice. Unfortunately, we ain't got the cover.
No.
But we've got the disc.
This Alice, Sweet Alice, and this is this is I haven't got, this is how it came actually. So, but it was really good.
What do you think?
I really liked it. Yeah. And it's the
Brooke
first.
Shields, isn't it?
It's Brooke Shields. Yeah, she's very young in it. Well, I mean very young. She's probably about 14, 15, perhaps, I don't know. But it's made in 1976.
Yeah.
And it was just it was a typical sort of 1970s, you know, that kind of horror, you know, like from that kind of era. And I mean, when I was watching it, I even wrote a few notes down. I was that impressed with it because it was a lot of it was filmed in like close up, so it was like really like it was like they felt as if it was coming out of you.
Right. Okay.
It was like lurid, you know. A lot of it was like, I don't know, the colours, the way it was filmed was kind of lurid, you know.
Yeah, drew you in.
Yeah, and it reminded me a little bit of like there's a film I had once by George Romero called Season of the Witch, one of his early films he made, like about 1970.
That's right.
And it was similar to this. It had the same sort of like camera, quick close-ups and stuff, and like gaudy-looking colours, you know.
Yeah.
But it's all set in like a church, you know. So it's basically there's Alice. Alice is the girl, the daughter, and you think she's all the way. I mean, she's a bit of a precocious kid anyway. So you think that maybe she is like up to no good, you know.
What, a little bit of sport brat sort of
Well,
thing?
just like she's got weird habits and that. Like in the apartment block where they live, she lives in the basement, and she's got like a little den in the basement. And she's got like cockroaches in jars and like one of them sorts of kids who has like mice and things running around.
No rhyme
you know?
nor reason behind it. Just like living there like a savage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're sort of thinking all the way through when all these murders are being committed. You're sort of thinking, is it her or not? Because the person doing the murder has got the yellow sort of like Mac that they're wearing in it all the time, you know. But what I found funny about it, I mean, I wrote this down because I thought if I don't, I'll forget it. There was a character in it, and he was the landlord,
right?
And his name was Alfonso, and he was a massive big guy. He was.
Sounds like a clown.
He was a massive big guy, and he reminded me of a cross between the landlord in Basket Case who kept running up and down the stairs all the time, you know.
To see Belial.
And, he was the landlord in this apartment block where they lived, and some of the characters were a bit like John Waters, like a John Waters movie, you know, a bit like Divine sort of, you know, that character, that sort of carry on. The landlord, and it did have some comic touches in it, even though it was a horror. it did have some sort of comedy touches in it, like with these characters, you know, and some of the like murders it was a bit over the top, you know.
not that realistic then.
Well, it was pretty good. It was quite realistic, yeah. And like when one person got stabbed, and the knife was going in, like, and it was coming right out of you, the screen, you know, with these colours and that. And I think it was it might have been a Canadian film, and a lot of horrors that were made in Canada in the 70s did have that sort of look to them,
right?
Like David Cronenberg, like Shivers, you know, like, you know, quite close up, you know. So yeah, I was really impressed with it. I liked it, and it was what did I put here? I put Alice, precocious kid with strange ideas, quite gory, and it was very, very similar as well to Black Christmas.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
film called Black Christmas, and that was Canadian as well. It was
a bit weird, that film.
It was. I would put them all in the same pocket. Black Christmas. Sister, another film called Sisters that Brian De Palma made.
Yeah. And
this one. So yeah, I was well impressed with it. Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Well done, James. Nice little recommendation there.
And if you want to watch it again, you can have this.
Little present from at home in the shed. Should have done a competition for that, see?
Yeah. So the question is, who's the real murderer? Just blow it for everyone.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. What we got?
Right, well, the next one is another one that's been requested by another one of your colleagues, wasn't it?
That was Graham's wife, Peg. So, Peg, thanks for watching. Nice little recommendation here. You can't beat a bit of Al Pacino, can you?
This is right. This is a controversial movie called Crusin. Al Pacino, Crusin, and I mean, when this came out, this came out about 1980, and William Friedkin he'd made The Exorcist, and then he after that he made a film called Sorcerer, which was like a big project for him, and then I don't think he made another film until this came out. But it is very controversial. I mean, it's all set in the underground world of like the in New York, in these like gay clubs, you know.
The underbelly of New York.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is that this was going on at this time because these clubs did exist, you know. And there's an actual documentary on this DVD as well, and it's William Friedkin talking about the making of the film.
Yeah.
And he said that what it was, the actual film was based on a book, but the book was based on some real actual murders that took place in New York in the late 60s. And an interesting footnote was that he was saying in the film The Exorcist, you know, when Linda Blair is undergoing all those tests in the hospital.
Yeah.
And there's a guy there plays an orderly. He's just in the scene. He's an orderly, and he's got like a moustache and the typical clone look, you know. Yeah. And apparently he was accused of murdering this art dealer, like, and chopping him up and chucking him in the East River. And so he said that was weird that they were researching this film, and this guy was obviously part of this world, you know, and he killed this guy. And he was actually in The Exorcist in that scene where she's in the hospital, you know. So
that's strange.
Yeah, and he said, like, it's weird. He said that, and he didn't know about this connection till when he was making this film, because The Exorcist was like 1973, wasn't it? So he didn't know about that connection until he was making this film. But it's good. I mean, it you know, it is very sort of like graphic in places, but it is good.
There was a film similar to this called Siege, wasn't there, years ago? Do you remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Where, you know, there was this gay club that was sort of infiltrated by this local gang, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Like nasty bastards they were.
Yeah.
And just went in and smashed them all up, really, didn't they? It was for nothing.
That was good. You've got that on video, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a good film, but it's quite tough in places, isn't it?
It was. Yeah,
a lot of bullying in it and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, you can't. I've never seen it. I've never seen it on DVD. You know, last time I saw it was your video.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a guy on the run from the police or something, wasn't it? Or a gang, like you said, and they got in that club.
That's right.
But yeah, there were some scenes in which were a bit hard to take, weren't they?
Yeah.
But this is. I mean, apart from Al Pacino, Paul Sorvino is in this.
Yeah. Who was in Paulie, wasn't he?
Paulie in Goodfellas.
Yeah, brilliant.
He plays the police like. You know, the commissioner, or whatever, who's in charge of like finding these, and Al Pacino has to go undercover, and he's got this girlfriend in it, and the girlfriend is the actress, I think her name's Karen Allen, and she was in The Wanderers. She was like the girl with the black hair in The Wanderers who Richie falls in love with, the beatnik girl.
Playing cards with her.
Yeah, that's that one, and she plays Al Pacino's girlfriend in it. And she can't understand why he has to suddenly disappear and go off the radar, because he's got to go deep undercover in these gay clubs to try and find this killer, you know.
I have seen it, but years and years ago. Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I've also got the soundtrack.
Oh.
Which I got.
There you go. Added extra there, Peg.
There's the soundtrack. And it's, you know, back covers a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Can't believe you got the soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, this is rare. This is a rare album. This actually, I've got this in Walthamstow, but the music on it is more like punk. You know, they've got Mink DeVille, the Cripples, Rough Trade, Willie DeVille, and the Germs. The Germs were like a infamous LA punk band.
Oh, okay.
So it's more like a punk soundtrack. That.
That's a good find, that
yeah,
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I was pleased to get that because it's quite rare and it's good music. Even
so
though...
there you go. By Peg recommending that, you pulled out a soundtrack and the actual DVD.
That's right.
So, you know,
I mean, I don't think it's the sort of thing you'll see on YouTube.
No.
I think there's like little documentaries about it, but it's a bit explicit, like.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, it's Crusin.
Yeah.
Al Pacino, watch out for that one.
It's a good one. Right, the next one I got tonight. This is another sort of controversial movie, and this is called Night Angels. See that? Night Angels.
Is it horror?
No, it's like a thriller, but it's an odd kind of film. This, and it says on the front, Night Angels picks up where the Deer Hunter and Apocalypse Now left off. Well, it ain't really like that at all, really. I mean, they're just trying
another lie.
They're just trying to sell it, you know. Night Angels, and it says on the cover, Night Angels picks up where the Deer Hunter and Apocalypse Now left off. Well, that's not really, it's not really true, you know.
Another lie for these cheapo movies to get you to buy them.
Exactly, yeah. But the back of it says the same thing. Night Angels picks up where Deer Hunter and Apocalypse Now left off. Tom and Lewis, army buddies who have drifted to New York, suffer psychotic reactions that force them to rape and murder unconsciously. So, I mean, basically what it is that they're both these two guys who they're living in New York and they can't hold down any jobs and that, you know, because they're just like, they come from Vietnam, and it's a cheaply made film, but it's good. And one thing I will say about it is that there's a rape scene, in it, which is quite harrowing, you know. I mean, and you watch because what they do, they got to try and get women. They advertise on this local bulletin board in their supermarket about an apartment for rent, and this girl turns up, and the actor that she comes in there, and then she gets wind of why they've got her there, and she tries to get out, and you don't actually see it, but it's off camera, you know. And the other guys are on the bed like looking, you know. So you don't actually see it, but it's quite harrowing, you know what I mean, to see it. But
no, I love it.
The actor is called Gabriel Walsh, and he was in another film that's in there. He was in another film that we've got on that we talked about called The Spirit. He was in that.
Yeah, we've got that upstairs.
Yeah,
about some sort of Red Indian.
The Spirit. Right, he was in that, and the other guy in it, Jose Perez. I looked on Internet Movie Database, and he's been in loads of stuff. But he was in another film that I saw once called Short Eyes, and it was about American prison.
Right.
And basically, short eyes is the slang term in America for like paedophiles when they go into prison. The convicts call them short eyes or something. That's what this film was about, you know. But he was in it. This guy, Jose Perez. And he was good in that as well, and he's really good actor. I mean, like I said, he's a bit over the top, you know. When you're watching him, you think bloody hell, like, because there's another at the end of the film, another situation arises, and they kill this guy by mistake, really. But I mean, it was good, and it's actually called Night Flowers. So when it came out on video, they've called it Night Angels.
Because flowers was a little bit too mild.
Yeah. I don't know why it was called Night Flowers, because, I mean, they're not flowers, they're violent, you know. But they've called it Night Angels, and I did have this on video once before as well. I had it on video, and then when I found this DVD, I got rid of the video, which I wish I'd have kept the video now, because the cover work was better than this weird strange looking face on the front there.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it's good.
Well, okay, guys. As I say, little selection there tonight. Just a very brief episode.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep them as short as possible to keep the content coming. And as always,
yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
All right, it's nice to see you back and see us back, obviously.
Yeah.
We will be trying some live streams again at some point. You know, see if we can get that right. But I'm still not sure how to do it properly. It'd be good to have a live stream. I think you could do it on Twitch, where any of you guys can log into Twitch and watch us and comment.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And then I could be answering questions.
Yeah, that'd be excellent.
You know, while Gary's talking
be asking
as well.
questions or comments or anything while we're here. Yeah, great.
So if any of you guys out there know how to do it and give us some pointers, we'll be
fantastic.
We'll be most grateful.
Yeah.
All right. That said, gonna leave it there and see you in a week's time.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Oh.